Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Diego, California, where it's overcast, but I know the rest of the country is looking pretty dim today, so hopefully this will brighten up your day. So today we're going to play a little bit, make actually 2 cards with the well-suited suite, and you'll be able to see how exciting that is, that it's not just for guys. So I'm going to show you a bunch of different things you could do with it. Hopefully the sound today will be better, and because I'm using a different phone, and I think it was the phone, but we'll see if it's the internet, and hopefully you guys can tell me if my sound is better. So just want to do a little announcement and talk about only less than 2 weeks left of celebration. This year it's only going till the end of February. So you have 2 weeks left to get all that lovely free stuff. This is when I usually end up ordering things like, you know, envelopes, white paper, whatever it is that I need, you know, that I can think ahead because, you know, free is free. There will be another celebration in July, August. No idea what the joining special is going to be. So if you're thinking about joining Stampin' Up!, now is a great time to do it because, excuse me, not only do you get the regular joining special, but you get the free paper, 200 pieces of 6x6 paper in every color, including the 2022 in colors. Don't know yet what the next ones will be. And anyway, that's just a great incentive to join right now. So let me know if you're interested in that. And then the other incentive to join now is starting March 2nd. Customers will be able to order this new butterfly bouquet suite, but demonstrators can order it now, and you can order it on your new joining group of products if you want to. So I want to show you, I just got finally my paper, this paper that they have. Well, let's turn you down so you can see. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for coming. All right. So hopefully you can see my workspace a little bit better today than you could before. Also, like I said, I'm using a new phone. I think you might be a little crooked, so we'll straighten you out. And anyway, so right, background set. I've heard some people say they're going to actually cut it apart because they want to use that like that better. But the disadvantage of cutting it apart is the dies. I don't know if you can see that. It's one big die that cuts out then all of these. And then they're individual little dies that cut a layer, like you could layer one on each other. And this is the stamp set. The other thing I wanted you to see is the paper, and we're going to use some of this today, is only available during this pre-order. This set's going to be in the new catalog that starts in May. Notice that's a month earlier than usual. And you can only get this paper through when it starts in May or as supplies last. So I wanted to show you that. So this is the paper. You can see it's 6x6. It is beautiful. One side has butterflies, pretty scenes. Oh, I love that one. And let me turn it over. The other side has just nice, pretty, look at that one, pretty backgrounds. And the really cool thing about this paper here is that all-in-one die will cut out these butterflies right here. So remember I told you I don't have the dies, I just cut them out by hand, but I haven't made any cards yet. And this is this natural touch specialty paper. It actually has, you can see the lines, but I don't know if you can see, it's also a little bit 3D, so that's kind of cool. And you can stamp on it, you can roll on it, whatever. I haven't played too much with it, but it looks like lots of fun. So today, mostly what we're going to be doing is to, am I frozen? To make some make some female kind of cards, and I'm going to show you that. But the stamp set is generally geared towards guys. Always need a good Father's Day stamp. Obviously, happy birthday and thank you can go to anybody, as well as you're the best. But I wanted to show you too these dies, because they're a little confusing when you get them, going, well, what does this cut out? So this cuts out the lapels. These are little buttons, and we're going to use those. This little round thing goes to the bow ties, so either like that, or it looks a little better on this skinny one to go that way. You've got a tie, you've got a placket, so if you want to make a placket in the jacket without using the pocket, which is actually kind of cute because it's stitched. This is for the top of the, what do you call it, collar, but you can also use it, and we'll use it today, and make some little handkerchiefs. This is supposed to be for suspenders or another placket, and these are also for suspenders. Oh, and this is for, whoops, for the tie. So just so you know what all those things are for. So first off, I thought we'd do the traditional thing and make the jacket, just a regular men's jacket. And this is the paper from the Well Suited. Oh, I guess I don't have it right here to show you all. Oh, yes, I do. All the different things. So we've got, you know, a nice little stripey for making jackets, the back of which is great for shirts or ties. Another one that's great for shirts. This one's super for ties. Another jacket kind of one. Another shirty kind of one. This one is great for ties. This one actually I used as just a background. You can use it for anything. This one's a little, you know, my son loves these kind of Hawaiian-y shirts, so that may show up on a birthday card for him at some point. And another one, I guess this could be anything. Tie, I love this one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Anyway, so I thought we'd make a more traditional shirt for right now. So we got our gray, basic gray, I think it was, just regular card base, and you notice that I've made it more of a long one, which I almost never do, but that's works perfectly for this one. So, whoops, next thing is, looks like I forgot to cut this, but so I will show you kind of what I'm doing when I'm cutting these, which is, this is a 4 by 5 1/4 sheet. And what I'm doing is actually marking the center here just with a pencil. And then I'm going to have to go run and, whoops. Dang, cut this. Okay, so this is our little V here. And what you're going to want is this V right here, hopefully you can see that, to line up with right there. And then I'm using my grid paper to kind of make sure that these are about equal. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. This is equal on the bottom. I'm using a little bit of old washi tape, and you're gonna have to wait a sec while I go across the room and cut this, because it's not gonna work in my little baby one that's sitting here. So, your pocket and things like that. So let's move that out of the way. And then the other thing I want you to notice, that most men's suits, the pinstripe goes up and down, and it's really nice to make the collar go side to side. And so that's another way to just kind of add a little something something to it. And then I'm going to take these edges, again, trying to make it a little more 3D. Obviously, if This is going in the mail. It's going to get smashed down a little bit, but for now this works. And you do want to try to get some adhesive, whoops, come on, glue, all the way down to the points. Don't go up in here, because remember, we're trying to make that stick up a little bit. But all the way down here. Even a little on the point. And then line it up here as best you can. And then there will be some times when this, oops, come on, Robin, let's get this. See how this is kind of sticking up just a little bit up here. So you may want to take your scissors. I find it easier with these little teeny things to use my scissors and cut it off from the back side just to make sure that they're even. Okay, so, all right, so that's our little jacket. And we also have a little pocket here. And I like to, because if it's a well-tailored suit, those little lines are going to line up. And then the other thing that I did is, this is just the little top part, actually turn it over, of what's going to be the collar, and just cut a little bit of it because you don't need the whole thing. Cut it in half, and then these two little things, however you want to layer them in there. We don't even need this whole thing. Maybe like that, yeah. Cut that off and just kind of layer them in here as your little pocket square. What? With just a couple little parts sticking up. Anyway, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back. And you can't see it yet, but this is going to be matching my his little tie. Okay, so now we can glue that down. Actually, I don't know why I put a little bend in it, because I am going to glue it flat. And again, trying to match up those lines, because, you know, our guy is a handsome, well-dressed guy. So I decided, you know, this is our sample here. He had a light blue shirt on, which I asked my husband which he preferred, and he loved the light blue. But you know what? This other guy is a little bit more hip than my husband. Don't tell him that. So he's going to have a brighter blue shirt on. Okay. Now, here's another hint when you're doing this. Make this one a little bit smaller than the other one. You really only need a strip down the middle, but I didn't want to have to worry about it, so I just used the whole thing. But then this way, it's not going to, you're not going to have to worry about it showing. And then, because you're going to be tucking that tie under, and we're not sure how that's going to go for right now, just glue the top part all the way up to the edge. Like I said, we're not worried about the back because we know it's a little bit smaller. Okay, but see how this is up? Whoops. So we can tuck things under there a little bit. All right, so with the collar here, I did decide, you know, I want a little bit of dimension here. And so what I did is I actually put a couple dimensionals, I think I can use a big one actually, underneath here, because I did want it to stick up a little bit. Doesn't that look better with a little dimension there? Okay, and this is what I was saying about the tie. Now, I do have this extra little piece, so I can tuck this under here and this on top. So on this one, I did use a small dimensional, and that way one can go on top and one can go underneath. So let's first just put this together, then I'll show you what I mean. Okay, and we'll put this on. And these just go even with the top. Now the other thing you could do that I didn't do on here is you could get a little piece of a skin color and stick it under there, because that is kind of supposed to be a skin, not the shirt, so if that bugs you. And then what I'm going to do is glue it. I don't know if you can see this, but what I'm doing is, see how it's open there? So one part's going to go above and one part's going to go underneath, okay? And that's why it's a little glue dot. And this doesn't have to be totally glued down. I've seen two people have been taking these ties and running them through embossing folder, and that makes a really cool look too. Okay, and so remember how this, whoops, is still not glued down completely, and that way we can just put our little tie underneath, because he is a well-dressed man here. Okay, it would have been smarter. A little dimension on them too. So I actually glued two together so they have a smooth side. Hopefully you can see that. It really does look like a button. And what I do, then I don't know, I think we probably only need two on here, yeah. So what I do is I put one right at the point there and just put a little teeny glue dot and another one just down here. And then I have these cute little tweezers. Don't ask me where I got them, because just a friend gave them to me, because otherwise these are hard to pick up. I just think things like these little, I'm going to try to save this for next time without losing it, so I'm going to put it back in here. And then we can glue this onto that whole cardstock. And I did decide, you know, I've seen a lot of cards where it totally goes out to the side, but then you're using a full 4 1/4, and I figured I'd get a lot more out of it if I just made it 4 and not 4 1/4. So we got the light blue tie and the light blue shirt and the dark blue shirt. I'm not sure which I like better, but I do like our little handkerchief. I might have to go back and try to put that in there for our other dapper guy. So just so that you don't feel like this is all about the guys, has some of that butterfly paper that I was just showing you. Whoop. So again, cut this out. I decided not to make it go down quite as far because, you know, this is a pretty plunging neckline already. So let's get ready and make a girl card with our well-suited, because some of us wear suits. So again, this is cut 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2 in the middle. Let's just fold that in half. And this one, because I was using the 6-inch paper, I went ahead and did all the way out to the edge the 4 1/4. So we have some beautiful Melon Mambo paper, and again, that I used for the lapels. And you know, you could pick out any color. I just thought, see how this is not down nearly as far? I'm gonna pull it up like that, and I'll have more to kind of cut off here, but that's okay. I tried it the first way and it was like, oh, she's a little too risque for me. And that's when she also developed her little underneath shell. All right, so you do want to put this down at the point first and line that up down here. Okay, now you have quite a bit more to cut off up here. Which is fine, she doesn't need all that. Okay, so then I decided, wow, this is still pretty low cut. So I'm gonna take this center part and I'm gonna make that, I'm saying it's her little shirt underneath. What do you think? So let's see, how far down does she want it to go? About there, sound good? Let's cut off some excess in the back. And then we'll just glue this down. Because I don't know about you, but I think this is a little too far down. Let's make sure this is straight here. Using my lines. That looks better. Okay, and then I have just a rectangle of petal pink to put underneath because she is showing quite a bit of skin here. So let's get that glued down too. And then we'll finish decorating her. Now I'm just doing the whole thing here because we're really not tucking anything under. But we do want the top. Most importantly, the top needs to be kind of even. Okay, and then I decided she needed a little, kind of just a little plaque under here so she could actually really seem like she was wearing a suit also. And this is the suspender piece. But obviously for her, it's not suspenders. It is just that little placket that would go down the front of your shirt. And again, turn it over. See how this petal pink is just a little smaller than my 4 1/4. And then I was going to show you how I made the little buttons. So here's 2 little buttons. And what I do is just the tiniest little dot of glue on here because honestly it kind of squishes out if you use anything but the tiniest dot, and then you just want to line them up and it just makes a little more dimension than if they were alone. Okay, so here are 2 more that I already did. My glue on first and then the buttons. I just love the button. Come on, little guy, come back. Except when they're being little buggers and don't want to come. Okay, and now because she's a girl, she needs a little jewelry. So what I did for jewelry is I took this gold cord from the Forever Greenery combo pack. Comes with this real pretty kind of off-white natural. Now, because this, kind of frays, if you leave it alone, you usually end up having to cut some of that off. Or I just use some double-sided tape and stuck it on the back and hope that I kind of got it in the middle. Yep, that looks good. And that's just going to be stuck down on here anyway. So I think actually I'm going to glue this on now just so that I can finish that and not have to worry that this is going to get stuck to everything, because it is pretty strong tape. So let's glue that on to our card. And you notice on this one, this is going all the way to the edge. Anyway, so we got this nice little necklace, and I'm going to use a glue dot to hold it down, because I found that the dot on the little gem was just not quite enough. So I kind of bunched it up underneath here and made sure that it was going to stick. And then I have the little pastel pearls from the hydrangea set. Matter of fact, the hydrangea set is what I'm going to use in March for my classes to go. And then we're just going to use a little one of these pink pearls because they're so pretty. I kind of just want to put these pearls on everything. And like I said, that extra glue dot really seems to help hold it in place as well as the necklace. So now we have a girl version of this well-suited. So, and then this little piece that comes off when you're doing cutting cards, I just like to put, nothing goes to waste around here. I like to put this on the inside just to help dress up the inside. Not sure what this is going to be used for yet. So either you put it down, or I'm putting just a tiny bit of white showing. So this might be a birthday card. It could be a nice retirement card for somebody at the office, but whichever way is going to be great. All right, so that's our little girl version, and let me show you some other versions of what I did. So remember that download that we could get at the beginning of COVID? Remember when we thought COVID was going to last like a week or so? So I took one of those that I hadn't used yet and punched it out with one of our punches. And what I did was took this, turned it upside down, and now it becomes a pair of pajamas. Isn't that cute? And this is just a little bit of twine. Notice I used my tailored tag punch. You could use any punch that has a right angle and put that in there. That helps the bow stay in nicely too. So we got some big girl pajamas here. And this is using the stamps. I don't know if you can see those are stamped. And the dies with the cute little bow ties. Remember that little circle one? That's right there. And this is one of the what I call the backs of one of the papers. It makes a nice little just background neutral. I was going to do it in white, then I realized, yeah, that looks really good. And then because this next one is the very first one I ever did, because of course when I got this, being Dr. Robin, I had to make a female doctor coat. So this again, of course she has a pretty necklace, and of course she has a pretty top from the Hydrangea Haven set, and made her ready to go with her white coat. I used the stitch circle die to cut out just a little, I don't remember, it's been a while since I've been sewing, what you call that little placket thing that folds over. And then I actually made this into an easel card. So you're the best. Like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to use these for, but it could be a gift to a doctor, or it could be a birthday card to your doctor, or a thank you card to your doctor. And I just thought that was so cute. So, you know, the well-suited group may start out as a guy thing, but you know, in a girl's hands, it can easily turn into a really nice set for girls. So hopefully you guys all like that. And I'm going to bring you back up. Hi, Robbie. Yep, you were on a little late, but you know, I'll push share and then you can go back to the beginning. And like I said, for March, I'm going to have an at-home class featuring the Hydrangea Haven because I just think that's one of the prettiest sets. We just did art gallery for February, so if you missed that, sorry, but giving you fair warning now. For March, I'm going to use the Hydrangea Haven, and I just couldn't stop making cards with it last night, so I know you guys will love them. So have a good rest of your week, and see you next Monday. Take care. Bye.